Let's start with the Baltimore Ravens. More positive tests for the organization. It's not just players. There were reportedly 4 more positives today, but only 1 player placed on the COVID-19 reserve list. That's linebacker Pernell McPhee. It sounds like he was a positive, although we can't assume anything. They never say whether or not a guy was a positive. It gets reported by someone or it doesn't. You just have to wait to see whether or not he comes off or whether or not there's a report that he was positive. If he's positive, he won't be playing on Thursday night. If he's just close contact with someone who's positive, he's got 48 hours to get to the point where he can return, and it's a 5-day window from when you were exposed. Now, if he was exposed to somebody on Sunday, and that's when this all started with a couple of running backs who tested positive, he won't be back in time for Thursday. So my guess would be no McPhee. We already know no J.K. Dobbins, no Mark Ingram, no Brandon Williams if he was exposed to Dobbins or Ingram on Sunday. And more importantly for the Ravens, no practice today. Everything was conducted virtually on the most important practice day on a short week, because Monday you don't do anything. Wednesday's a walkthrough. Tuesday's your work day. Their work day was spent at home communicating via their computers, Charean.
Yeah, they're COVID depleted, Mike, going into this game. And they already faced an uphill battle to stay in this race, to beat the Steelers, which they need to do to stay in at least the division race, which I think is a long shot at this point. But who knows how many players they're going to end up with. We do expect there to be more players added to the list before Thursday night that won't play in that game. So we'll see the numbers that they have. They're already down at running back. They're going to have to call up a practice squad player at running back to have even 3 running backs, assuming that none of the other running backs are going on the list. If they are, then they're really going to be hard up at running back, and you may see Lamar Jackson be their entire running game on Thursday night. But this is difficult for the Ravens. There's no question about that. We've seen a couple this year, Mike, where teams have had all these COVID cases, and it's been very difficult on them. This is one of the toughest I've seen, that they're going to have to make do with what they have and without the players on the COVID list.
Yeah, I don't even know that smashing watermelons would work for John Harbaugh on Wednesday night before they go to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. And the other reality here is they are still in the window where there could be additional positives because of the incubation period. Those are the 2 donut holes the NFL has been wrestling with all year. The incubation period of up to 5 to 7 days between exposure and generation of a positive test, if you do have enough exposure to actually come down with the disease, and that lag between sample collection and result generation, which is what stung them on Sunday with the positive samples given by Ingram and Dobbins, and then finding out that they were around their teammates all day long while they were shedding virus. That is the thing that can continue to cause problems, and that's why they're operating remotely, because somebody could end up testing positive today. So by staying home, that person who ultimately we find out tomorrow tested positive today wasn't in a position to shed virus over others and potentially make the situation worse. The NFL is monitoring the developments and has indicated that the game is still on. And why is the game still on? Why didn't they move it to Sunday or Monday or Tuesday? Because, and let's face it, there is a commitment to stage a game that will be televised on Thursday night on NBC, and there will be between 20 and 25 million people who watch it because it's a captive audience. It's the best game of the day, and the NFL doesn't want to give that up. And there's no guarantee, Charean, that if they move it to Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, that it'll be any better. So they decided Week 7, Bucs-Raiders, strike while the iron is hot. Get the game played. Don't delay, because you may not get the game in at all if you decide to just wait by a couple of days. So next man up, go sign somebody if you have to. Let's go. You see, the problem is because of that waiting period on the front end, it's not as easy to sign somebody. You better have your practice squad ready, or you're stuck. That's it. You better have your warm bodies. You better be thinking about who on defense could maybe play running back if need be. I mean, this may be old school 2-way football before it's all said and done, but the NFL is going to expect teams to show up, to be ready, no matter who's on that COVID-19 reserve list. And I don't know what the number is of a critical mass that would get the NFL to pull the plug. I don't think the NFL wants to find out, and I think the NFL is going to resist saying, okay, that's it. We're going to give you a pass here. We're going to delay the game until Week 18 or whatever. I think they're going to resist that as long as they possibly can, Charean.
Yeah, I've asked that a couple times, Mike, on the conference calls that we've had with the NFL, and they won't answer that question. But they have numbers. I mean, colleges all have those numbers, and there is a number out there. And obviously, you have to have a quarterback to play, and there's certain positions you have to have a certain number of offensive linemen, a certain number of defensive linemen to play. I think offensive line and quarterback are the key positions that you need. I don't think they're going to worry about it. If the Ravens don't have any running backs, hey, put RG3 out there or put Lamar Jackson out there at running back and go. And simple facts are, Mike, I think maybe if they could have moved a game into that spot, they would have. But look, they're not going to give up Thanksgiving Day games. They're the highest rated games almost annually for the networks. They just are. People watch. I mean, what else do you have to do on Thanksgiving Day except eat and watch football? And so that's what people do, and the ratings are extremely high for those games. The Cowboys game almost always ranks #1 in regular season games based on ratings. And so they can't move a game from Sunday to Thursday. That's impossible. They want to get that game in and have those high ratings for all 3 of those games.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.